Greetings and welcome to episode 44 of Change Your Focus, a mindfulness podcast designed to inspire and center you. I am Dr. Aiko-Douglas, your host, transformational life coach, life integration specialist, and mindfulness practitioner, here to empower you to transform your life one mindful decision at a time. I'm also here inspiring you to be mindful of the products you use on and in your body, as well as the products you use around your home. In last week's episode on identity, I spoke about my journey to communing with my ancestors, God, and divine spirit guides daily to learn and know the truth of who I am. When I devoted myself to going deeper within every day for 2 hours before I left home, I returned to truth, love, God within me, and myself. And this is where my name change originated. I knew confidently who I was and never listened to the lies of the world telling me to be who everyone else wanted me to be again. I became Saiba. If you found my story last week inspiring, or the meditation enlightening, or if any of the information was fruitful, please share. Also, if you have any questions about the episode or would like life coaching to support you in knowing your true identity and being confident to be your authentic self anywhere, please click my Calendly link in the description or message me on any social platform at Integr8 Lyfe for a complimentary discovery session. I would love to support you. So let's get into it. Today's episode is about destiny. Now, I invite you to to contemplate this quote by Tony Robbins. And it's kind of long, folks. It's not what's happening to you now or what has happened in your past that determines who you become. Rather, it's your decisions about what to focus on, what things mean to you, and what you're going to do about them that will determine your ultimate destiny. I want to read that one more time. It's not about what's happening to you now or what has happened in the past that determines who you become. Rather, it's your decisions about what to focus on, what things mean to you, and what you're going to do about them that will determine your ultimate destiny. When I contemplate this quote, I think about the saying, "You are destined for greatness." How many of you all have heard that? Heard that many times. Well, guess what, folks? The truth is, we are all destined for greatness. However, we don't all arrive at greatness because some of us don't believe in ourselves. Some of us choose to focus on things that won't support us in arriving at our own level of greatness. And some have distorted perspectives on truth and make false meanings from circumstances. And others choose to remain in their comfort zone instead of taking action and venturing into discomfort to arrive at greatness. So if you haven't heard my story before, I'll use it as an example to explain what I mean. When I hear that I am destined for greatness, I know that I am because I know who I am, as I shared in last episode. I also remember all the greatness that I have already risen to at 43 years of life on this earth. And I know this is only the beginning. Despite being abandoned by my biological father at birth or being rejected by my sister for most of my life, or being diagnosed with sickle cell disease at 2 years young and being told at 6 that I would not live past 12. And despite being diagnosed with many diseases throughout my lifetime as a result of sickle cell disease, I choose to believe that all of it has been and will always be for my good. So, this belief, let's look at that. I choose to believe. You mean to tell me we have a choice in what we believe? For sure. Most of us grow up and keep that same level of conditioning, and we don't challenge those beliefs and those false beliefs, and we don't make a choice. So, again, I choose to believe that the universe, divine, God is always conspiring in my favor. I choose to believe that God wants the best for me and will always meet me more than halfway. This belief keeps me looking for truth in all things, all situations. It keeps me looking for love in all things. And it keeps me looking for God in all situations, no matter what, right? If I believe that God is on my side, helping me out, then even in this tough, challenging, messy situations, hurtful situation, ugly situation, if I believe that, then I'm going to be searching for truth in that. Let me see God in this. Let me see love in this. Let me see truth in this thing that doesn't feel and look so great. And so my prayer remains, and this is the prayer that came to me when I started my altar journey. Literally every day, placing on my altar, God, show me truth. Let me see me clearly, and let me see truth clearly. I believe in myself and my ability and capability to do great things. So, this belief in God, this belief in myself, because if God is within me, then I can do anything. And so, what I choose to believe about a thing or how I make meaning from a situation impacts my life, right? This is the quote. So, it's not really about the event as much as it is about what I choose to take from the event. Again, and if I'm believing that I can do anything and these are working for my good, then even in not so great situations, I can come out with a positive perspective. So now, have I always believed this? No. I used to believe that people abandon and reject me when I need them most because abandonment and rejection is a part of my past. Remember, this quote is talking about that. If we're focused on the past and not even realizing in moments when things would transpire that I was focused on the past and what had happened to me and what I came from and what I was familiar with, what I knew. And so I told myself these lies and created false narratives when people didn't show up for me. I am alone in this. I can only count on myself. People always abandon me. People will reject me. All lies, not true. That wasn't the real reality or truth, but I believe this. And I definitely put walls up when it came to being my authentic self, as I've shared on here with people, because I wanted to be liked and accepted. So I people pleased and pretended my way into misaligned friendships, which I've shared much about on here. And while I accomplished many of great things, I felt alone quite a bit because of this narrative that I hadn't released yet. And I was always surprised when people did show up for me and extremely overwhelmed with emotions. And I was in disbelief because I wasn't really connected to that truth. I wasn't standing confidently on this truth and knowing that people are going to show up because people show up for me because I'm on my side. God is on my side. I am great. I am destined for greatness. I hadn't arrived at that just yet. And so It's like I didn't even think I was worthy of having genuine support and acceptance in my life. I took that altar journey for me to really be connected and know who I was and know truth, to know my true destiny of greatness. And so then the other thing in this quote is focus, right? Again, when I learned to change my focus, I changed my future. So that is why I shared that with you all. Change your focus, change your future. I stopped focusing on who didn't, wouldn't, or hadn't accepted me or rejected me, and began acknowledging and being grateful for people who had always willingly been there for me and who enjoy supporting me. And I began to express gratitude for these people. And as I did so, I saw more of those things. I realized more of those things. I felt worthy of those things because that is what universe was communicating with me. And this caused me again to actually feel the love that I am so worthy of receiving from people and this life. And this caused me to accept myself fully and completely and love myself. So now the effects of others rejecting and abandoning me, not showing up for me, doesn't hurt like it used to, because I know that ultimately, well, I am fully accepted. And so that is all that matters. Perspective. That is the other thing in this quote, perspective. I know that my power lies in how I perceive and respond to situations, no matter what happens to me, or better yet, for me. Because if I believe this, then I know that all things are happening for me in my best interest, even though in the moment it may not feel so great. So shifting my perspective on how I respond to situations, knowing that some situations don't even deserve a response. And then those that do, really rising to the level of greatness so that I respond great. I respond in love. I respond in truth. I support myself. I create healthy boundaries. I show up in my power and empowered versus feeling and looking like a victim to situations and people. So, and then the action part of this quote, I have the liberty, the freedom, and the agency to make choices I desire to make, no matter what the circumstances are. I am not a victim of my past conditioning. I am abundant and live a full, expansive, and enriched life. And when I focus on my desired outcomes, what I want to see, who I want to be, where I'm going, I make choices that align with greatness and my destiny no matter what. So I just have to change my focus, not focus on what didn't work, who's not showing up, focus on truth. And so I take personal responsibility and ownership of my life by actively deciding how I will respond to challenges and opportunities. I know that my destiny is greatness, and I focus on that no matter how less than great the circumstances may appear to be. And this is how I continue being great and arriving at greatness. So when you know your destiny, you become unstoppable. You can do anything if you believe in your ability to do so. Remember, I addressed belief first. You are great. Yes, you. And you are destined for greatness. So when we look at all the challenging, hurtful, adversarial moments in our life, we must know that it is our connection to our destiny and truth that keeps us moving forward, further into purpose and greatness. So I feel compelled to share my truth and experience surrounding the holidays. So I saw one of the staff in our building, and he's a kind older Hispanic man. And I greeted him and told him happy holidays and asked if he was ready for the holidays. And I was really thinking about him having time off, being able to spend time with his family. And when I asked the questions, and I hadn't considered what he was about to share with me, he looked disgusted, worried, and burdened and said no. So I listened to why he was not excited about the holidays. And he said it was the gifts. I got to buy gifts, he mumbled as he trotted off. I immediately thought about everyone this season who is responsible or who has made themselves responsible for buying gifts for others when it is already a struggle financially. My prayer is that you would find truth, express your financial situation with your loved ones, and let them know if it does not feel aligned for you to buy gifts for others on Jesus's so-called birthday. I haven't shared this on here. However, a few years ago, I decided to refrain from celebrating Christmas in the traditional way that everyone else celebrates Christmas. As I have learned and studied the Bible for myself and religion, I found truth and learned that the 25th is not actually the day, that it was something that was created and told to us. I found out that buying gifts for other people on Jesus's birthday was not the original practice, and that it is something that we have been conditioned to practice and do. And I wanted to fall away from, again, all things that were not true and truth for me. It didn't resonate for me. It kept sitting with me, and I was like, what? Like, this doesn't make sense. I'm buying a bunch of gifts for a bunch of people on somebody else's birthday, people who don't even really acknowledge and know Jesus or know the Bible and know the truth of Jesus and his story. Like, this is just not making sense for me. It doesn't feel aligned. What does feel good is spending time with family, showing my love, volunteering, cooking, those things that I enjoy. That feels good, that feels true, that feels aligned. And so I felt this pull and this call to, well, again, line with truth. When you put it out there, universe will show up for you. And so I'm learning truth, and I'm like, okay, how do I practice this? And when I first started, there was some resistance around telling my family because we're heavily conditioned in practicing this and doing this. And I didn't want to be judged or outcast, but in the same token, I wanted to be true to myself and feel aligned. And as I did so, I expressed my truth and how I felt. And for better or worse, it is what it is. And my family knows this about me now, and they've accepted that. And so please know that you do not have to put yourself in a bind trying to buy for others during this season. That is not what Christmas is about. This season is about love, giving what you have, the capacity to give. And if that is not money for gifts, then give of your time, of whatever else God puts on your heart to give. Focus on family and friends and charities that are important to you during this season. Volunteer, laugh, again, love. Spend time with those who matter most to you, creating beautiful memories before they are gone. Find out the truth for yourself around this holiday and do what counts and really matters to you, no matter what. I want to look at the story of Jesus's destiny. Jesus was destined to die on the cross, and Jesus was destined to save souls. And this man endured hurt and pain like no other, and he knew it was coming. Again, he did not run. He did not cower away. He simply prepared his friends and family for what was to come. So these are all things we can learn from Jesus. When you know your destiny, you cannot cower away from it. You can feel prepared, and you can prepare those who love you most of how to show up for you, how to support you, like I did with the holidays. This is who and where I am now. This is what you can expect from me. This is my destiny, to be a truth teller, a truth seeker, and express that and be confident in that. And so you wonder how Jesus was able to endure such brutality. He knew his destiny. He believed in his purpose here on earth, and he remained focused on his destiny. In moments where we all would have showed up weak, he was strong. He faced his enemies with love, forgiveness, kindness, understanding, and compassion. He even prayed for them, asking God to forgive them because they are ignorant and do not know truth or destiny. Hmm. So, again, ways in which we can show up when we know our destiny, strong, standing on that truth, not fearing who will outcast us, not fearing who will judge us, persecute us, condemn us. Standing in the truth because we know destiny, and destiny will be fulfilled. And so we can make aligned choices that feel good for us instead of resisting our destiny, but rising to it and doing things that align with our destiny coming into fruition in ways that feel good for us. Only we have to live our destiny. And so we must do what is ultimately going to feel good for us. And the longer we resist our destiny, imagine the more painful the painful moments become versus how much more free and liberated we can become in those painful moments when we accept our destiny and choose our destiny. Yes, indeed, Rosie, I see you. The darn auditors. Yes, you know what? Nothing. Indeed, exactly. And so, again, Jesus prayed for them and asked God to forgive them because they were ignorant, didn't know their truth, right? Or destiny. And so only a person who knows their destiny can stand strong through such adversity and remain faithful and true to their purpose and their calling no matter what. And so my invitation to those of you who celebrate Christmas this season is to return to truth. Like I've shared, do your own research, learn when Jesus' birthday actually was, and find out how he was celebrated during his time, and choose to celebrate and honor him in a true, authentic, and real way instead of buying into all these orchestrated pagan practices. That's the invitation, folks. And so I want to read a poem to you called The Secret is Within by Amado Nervo. It's a story of how we can all arrive at greatness if we so choose. The secret lies within you. Search within yourself for the solution to all problems, even those you believe to be most external and material. The secret is always within you. All the secrets are within you. Even to make your way through the virgin forest, even to raise a wall, even to build a bridge, you must first seek within yourself for the secret. Within you, all the bridges are already stretched out. The weeds and vines that block the paths have been cut within you. All the architectures are already raised within you. Ask the hidden architect. He will give you his formulas. Before you go looking for the sharpest axe, the hardest pickaxe, the most resistant shovel, go inside yourself and ask, and you will know the essence of all problems. You will be taught the best of all formulas, and you will be given the most solid of all tools. And you will always be right because within you, you carry the mysterious light of all secrets. So, what's the lesson here? As we go within, I love that you love this, Rosie. As we go within, we find truth and we align with our destiny. And in that, we're given all the answers to take each next step forward and align with destiny with the most brevity and courage. So, folks, it is our destiny to wake up and know the truth and live our truth. Be authentic, think differently, free ourselves from misaligned beliefs and routines and practices, break the chains of the patriarchy, capitalism, and mindless consumerism and overconsumption, return to love, our true nature, connect with ourselves, connect with divine, connect with each other, support each other, be each other's allies, speak our truth, speak life, build people up with our words, and to heal. Yes, it is our destiny to heal and be healed so that we can stop wounding ourselves and others. My prayer for us all this season is that we would know truth for ourselves and be courageous enough to face the uncomfortable so that we might align with truth, fulfill our destiny by being great and living authentically every day. So, in this moment, I'd like to guide you through a brief mindfulness practice to support you in rising to your destiny. And before we begin our mindfulness practice, I invite you to sit on the floor cross-legged or in a chair with your feet flat on the floor to ground yourself. Your spine will be straight and your neck an extension of your spine. And then I invite you to close your eyes. And begin to tune in to your breath. Inhaling and exhaling deeply and slowly through your nose. And today we will engage in another mantra. As you are inhaling and exhaling deeply and slowly with your eyes closed, begin to bring your breath down into your abdomen, feeling it expand on each inhale and contract on each exhale. And today's mantra is Sat Nam. This is a Kundalini mantra for awareness, and it helps us align with the universal truth within us. Sat Nam simply means truth is my identity. So as you're inhaling slowly, you will inhale in your mind's eye, Sat, and then you will exhale, Nam. So let's begin to do that. Inhaling Sat and exhaling Nam. Sat, Nam. truth is within you. Sat Nam. It is your identity. Sat Nam. Connect with this truth now. Sat Nam. Know this truth. Sat Nam. It is your destiny. Sat Nam. Your destiny is greatness. Sat Nam. I'll leave you with this mantra for a minute. Now release this mantra and continue breathing slowly through your nose. And I invite you to take the deepest breath you have taken all day. And when you are ready, open your eyes and slowly return to this space. Now, to complete our mindfulness session for today, I invite you to journal what came up for you surrounding this mantra and your destiny. And please affirm by repeating after me. I believe in myself. Good. Let's say that again. I believe in myself. Great. One last time. I believe in myself. Beautiful. That brings us to the end of our session. May you enjoy integrating mindfulness into your life daily. I invite you to be mindful, breathe deep often, and contemplate all the ways you can align with your true destiny. Remember, mindfulness is always available to you every minute of every day. May you use each minute to be mindful. I am Dr. Aiko-Douglas, your host, transformational life coach, life integration specialist, and mindfulness practitioner, here to empower you to transform your life one mindful decision at a time. I'm also here inspiring you to be mindful of the products you use on and in your body, as well as the products you use around your home. If you found this podcast through social media, please share which platform in the comments below. Also, remember to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow my journey. If you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, I invite you to leave a raving review and comments to that rating. I also invite you to join my exclusive community on Patreon at Integrate Life. Thank you for tuning in, listening, engaging, and being mindful with me today. Namaste.